Sup, Sexy Peas? Welcome to Sexy Peas, recipes to give you confidence in the kitchen.
Yep.
Say when. Now? All right. So our drink this week is a hot toddy, which is essentially just whiskey and water, except it's hot. But we're gonna add some other things in to make it a little tastier. Like I always say, have good, interesting stuff around you that you can tell stories about. This is my clutter ring glass, mug, which I got in Dublin on a trip I went a couple years ago. So start with our mug, coffee mug. We're just gonna add a little bit, not a lot, just a splash, maybe a single finger's worth. So this is not a drink to get you drunk, it's a drink to help you fall asleep. We're gonna put just a little bit of sugar in. It's supposed to be a teaspoon. So it's important that you know the difference between a teaspoon and a tablespoon. Teaspoon's the little one, tablespoon's the big one. So we're gonna be using just a teaspoon. It doesn't matter how heat, doesn't matter, you're making it up on your own. We're gonna add just a dash of lemon. I'm gonna use just a bottled lemon. Some people hate to do this, and I'm actually in a minute gonna use a real lemon, so I'm mixing the two together. You can do it any way you want. Just give it a little splash. Not a lot is needed. Then we're gonna add a little bit of honey to it. And this is one of those drinks that has a whole bunch of different ingredients, and so you can mess around with it and figure out what you like best. So I'm using my fancy little tiny spoon and just getting a little bit of honey and setting it in. And then we want to put a real thick slice of lemon in. So here's our real lemon. So we're going to cut just a slice out of it. Nice thick slice. You can see the width on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into quarters just to make it more interesting and more accessible inside the cup, and just drop the whole thing in. There's a million different ways you can do it. This just happens to be the way that I like to do it. Now I already have my water heating up in my kettle, so it should be ready to go. Yeah, it's already boiling. So we're gonna fill our glass up, fill our mug up with hot water. There we go. Oh, that smells fantastic. And then what you're supposed to do is stir it up with a cinnamon stick, which are around here somewhere. I'm not a big fan of doing, oh, here they are. Just a regular cinnamon stick. Voila. Not a big fan of that, so I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna use, don't come back in. I'm just gonna use the spoon I used to get the honey out. Stir it up. There we go. That's all there is to it. You'll like to smell that one. There we go. There's our drink, the hot toddy.
Go ahead.
Just FYI, the hot toddy, it's a better fall and winter drink when it's 85 degrees outside and 114% humidity. You're not going to want to drink it unless your AC is pumping you down to about 40 degrees Celsius or about 3 degrees Celsius and 4 degrees Fahrenheit. Something like that. I don't know. They're numbers. Forget it. All right, we're moving on. All right, so I've been informed that my staple this week is for shite, just like last week's ladle. So in my head, this is a teacup. Apparently this is not a teacup. This is not a teacup. These are coffee cups. So your staple should be teacups, which I guess are shorter than this. I don't know who's doing the measuring. Somebody really tall? I have no idea. Get you some teacups so you can serve tea after dinner, for crying out loud. All right, done with that one. So our general rule this week is know where your smoke detectors are. Don't turn them off. You can't. I hope you can't, but don't. Always leave them on. But do know where they are and have a stool close by in case you burn the sundae out of something and it starts beeping at you. You can get up and fan it to make it stop dinging, stop yelling at you. So know where your smoke detectors are and keep good batteries in them. Change them every, what, 6 months?
Year.
Change them every year on your birthday. Then you know they're still functioning. All right, you ready? All right, we're rolling. So this week's recipe is we're gonna zhuzh up some Asian food. So what I did was I just got some beef and broccoli from local joint. We're gonna heat that up, but we're gonna do a little extra with it just to make it look like it's our own. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir in some udon noodles, which are my favorite kind of Asian noodles, and then we're gonna add some mushrooms. So where we're gonna start is with the Asian food. We're just gonna get it into the pan. This works very well if you have leftover from the night before, not if you have anything left over that's fried. That doesn't heat up very well. I forgot to get a spatula. I'm getting a spatula. But if you have stuff like this, it's not coated in anything, just lower it, put it into, send it into, ship it into, I don't care. Just load it up and get it on a low heat to start warming it. All right. Unfortunately, this is still pretty warm because I just got it. If it wasn't warm, we would go ahead and just let it heat itself up. And you can add a myriad of things to this when you're zhuzhing something up. I don't even know how you would spell that. It's going to be funny when we try to put subtitles in for somebody to figure out how to spell that correctly. But since it's already heated up, we're just going to add the udon noodles, and basically you just break them up and bring them around the edge and let those heat up slowly. And then we're just going to dump in our mushrooms. You could add onions, you could add carrots, you could add really whatever you like in with it. If you're adding something like a carrot, you want to make sure that it's getting cooked fully before you pull it out, because you don't want a soft broccoli and a crunchy carrot together. That's just not going to be enjoyable. We'll get our udon noodles in. And our mushrooms, we're going to open these and then drain them, because I don't want all the liquid from the mushrooms. My favorite sound. It sounds like somebody with a prostate problem peeing. Yep. And then we're just going to add those straight in. You can hear it starting to heat up. Well, I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. Put that in the recycle bin. And now this is really very simple. Just stirring it together so it all gets mixed together. Let it go for a minute. I might have my heat a little too high, so I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let it go, and basically we just let it heat until everything's heated up. If you're unsure if everything's heated up, pick the last thing that you put in and just grab one and take a bite. I put the mushrooms in last, pull one out and take a bite. The noodles are going to heat up at about the same rate. The meat and the broccoli, the beef and the broccoli were already warm, so we don't have to worry about those getting warmer. They're good to go right now. So let it go until you think it's ready, and if you need to test it, test one of the mushrooms. All right, I'm gonna pause that for a minute while it's finishing. Are we good? All right, so it's all good and heated up now. The way I would serve this is I would just get just a shallow bowl. If you don't have a shallow bowl, use a regular bowl. If you don't have a regular bowl, use a plate, doesn't matter. And just fill it up. Make sure you get a little bit of everything. Make it look pretty. It's not tough to do with Asian food because it's already pretty. There we go. Bowl of zhuzhed up, repurposed Asian takeout. Enjoy. Enjoy. Did you get it?
Do you actually know what the toast is? Are you ready?
Oh yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's our toast for the week. Here's to that long, straight piece in Tetris. Oh, that is really good. If it was wintertime, I would love that. If you want to go faster than the speed that we are going, or if you want to watch old episodes, If you want to get prepared for what you're going to need for next week's episode, you can go to sexapiece.com. It's spelled sexapiece.com. There's a link below where you can click on that. And enjoy the kitchen. We'll see you next week. All right, you ready? All right, we're rolling. All right, I'm gonna pause that for a minute while it's finishing.